Jenny Hermoso, a player from Spain's championship women's team, is now formally accusing the Royal Spanish Football Federation president of sexual assault.
Not just any player. She's the lead goal scorer for the team. It comes just 2 weeks after the team's World Cup win. The head coach of Spain's team has been fired following the now infamous kiss following their victory that drew and is continuing to draw international attention.
That move ended Jorge Vilda's 8-year tenure with the team, not even 3 weeks after leading Spain to a World Cup victory for the first time. Vilda's firing follows weeks of criticism around the actions of the president of Spanish soccer's governing body, Luis Rubiales, who kissed a player without her consent after the championship game. Joining us now is Joanna Lohman, a former professional soccer player and member of the U.S. women's national team. Joanna, it's good to have you back. I'm sorry it's under these circumstances. I saw you shared this breaking news to social media yesterday, very much in favor of the firing. We have a lot of questions, but first, your response and reaction to that update.
I am in favor of this firing because I believe where there is smoke, there is fire. And, Jorge Vilda has not been a saint throughout this situation. You had 15 players in September of 2022 write to the federation that they did not want to play for their country because of the environment created. 12 of those players did not return. You had some of the best players in Spain not play in the World Cup, which is truly a pinnacle of your career. And the federation continued to back Jorge Vilda. And when the situation happened with Luis Rubiales, you saw Jorge clapping in the audience when Rubiales was refusing to resign after the sexual assault on Hermoso. And I think this is just one of many firings we will see with these leadership changes that the federation is going to be forced to make.
What do you say to those who, if you just go on Google, search Spain kissing tradition as a greeting, and you find very commonly in Europe, throughout Europe, but in Spain particularly, that it's a common greeting to lay a closed mouth kiss on the mouth with friends, with people you know well, with family members, and that's what Rubiales did. What do you say to folks who think this was merely tradition? This is not to be so overblown, but unfortunately, in this era, in this culture, it's unacceptable. It's not. It shouldn't be, though.
In 2022, Spain passed legislation about consent. So I believe this is their version of the Me Too movement. To have an executive forcefully kiss a player on the mouth on the global stage, and then you pair that with grabbing of his crotch in the section with the Queen of Spain, the Princess of Spain, after the Spanish team won the World Cup. It is just inexcusable. I understand that culture, there are differences, but this is inexcusable. It is tainting what these women have done in spite of their federation. And again, we're not talking about the talent, the skill that was required of winning the biggest tournament in the world. We're talking about a man that has truly tarnished and refused to take responsibility for something that he did without consent. And then the response to that, which is to truly force Hermoso and her family to make it seem like this was consensual and make it seem like it was something that she wanted when she is the victim here in this situation. And I'm glad that this is finally coming to light.
Yeah, and we'll see if anything happens to Rubiales. A lot of people saying a 90-day suspension just doesn't cut it. Jennifer Hermoso, the player who was kissed, describing the incident as, quote, an impulse-driven, sexist, out-of-place act without any consent on my part. When you watched that unsolicited kiss happen on such a world stage, Joanna, were you shocked, or have you seen this kind of behavior before? Does soccer have a sexism problem?
Sadly, I was not shocked. I think especially with the Spanish Federation, there have been a laundry list of violations in terms of sexism and misogyny. This is something that's been going on for years. And I am happy that this came to light now because of the way this team has played. And it is a reckoning. It is going to be a reckoning where we are forced to understand that it's not a rogue shark, as I like to say. It is the water that these women swim in. It is misogynistic, sexist water that they've been forced to swim in for years, where the Federation has not taken them seriously. They have not invested proper resources in the women. And, you know, it took the global stage for this all to come to light and for us to see their true colors. And I say, bring it on.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.